guess what I got? Yep, I got myself a gimbal. Good times ahead. Good times ahead. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. Whew, there it is. My Weebil S. So first things first, let me pull out the batteries here. These are the Zhiyun batteries. They're 2600 milliamps. And also right beside it is the charger. Now what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and plug this in right now because, well, you're supposed to charge brand new batteries when you get them. So just a second. And with the power of editing, I am back. So the batteries are charging right now and I'm gonna continue unboxing this. So next up we have the riser, the camera riser. So just in case the lens that you have is actually pressing against anything and it's unable to focus or zoom because it's pressing against anything, you can actually use this to give it a little bit of lift. Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep sniffing this stuff. It smells so good. New stuff smells so good. All right, next up we have the base plate, if you want to call it the base plate, or quick release plate. So yeah, this is a quick release plate that comes with it, and it has also a lens support. I might end up using this because my 20 to 35 millimeter L lens, Canon of course, it's actually quite heavy, so I may end up using this. But yeah, this is the quick release plate. All right, put this to the side. Next up we have pretty much the base of the Weebil S. You're gonna end up using this at the lower section and also here for underslung mode. However, I do have another one that I'm gonna use on here. So this will constantly remain at the foot of, or the base of the gimbal, and I'll use this for underslung mode. Yeah, just stay. Just stay. Last up, we have a bunch of cables here. These are connectors for connecting your camera to the gimbal. I think on that first or that initial use, you actually have to connect this up to the camera for them to communicate and yeah, for them to appear. Pretty much like a Bluetooth device, yeah. Except this is corded and not wireless. Ha ha ha. All right, so yeah, we have this here. I'm gonna put this to the side as well. And then last, but definitely not least, oh my gosh, is the gimbal. The Zhiyun Weebil S. The first time I saw this gimbal, I'd never thought that I would actually own one. But now I do, and just wow. So right now, after this video goes up, well, after this video is finished recording, I have some work to do in getting to know this gimbal and how to use this gimbal. It's gonna get me the stable type of footage that I need, and you know, be able to pull off some shots that I wasn't able to do previously. And hopefully that will bode well for me in what I'm planning to do going forward. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I don't know if I'm actually done, but yeah, good stuff, good stuff. So after shooting the unboxing,
warning, the following footage is blurry and therefore will be replaced with footage from my smartphone.
Of my Zhiyun Weebil S, things kind of went bad when I tried to balance it. So I pulled up this YouTube tutorial. As a matter of fact, I pulled up about 3 YouTube tutorials saying if I don't get it right with one, I'm gonna try with the other. And that's precisely what I did. However, things took a turn for the really bad. So while balancing it, something went wrong. And I had no idea what it was. So each time I would balance the gimbal, everything seems okay, I turn it on, the camera starts going upwards, pretty much like this. And that's all it would do. It drove me nuts because I wasn't aware of why this was happening, and the balancing videos that I watched, the balancing tutorials seemed so pretty simple that I couldn't understand why it wasn't working for me. What I did next, I actually put it down for a few days. Then I called up two friends, Raman from Generation Arts, who has a gimbal as well, and he went through a few steps with me on exactly how to balance the gimbal, but it still had that issue where it kept going like this. Then I actually set up a meeting with Sheldon from Shortleaf Media, and we got together, he balanced the gimbal, everything seemed okay, and once it turned on, it was more of the same. We were there for quite a while trying to figure out what is wrong with the gimbal, and I kept thinking that it was a case where there's an issue with this particular one that I got. But it turns out that the only thing that was wrong is that the directional button was stuck. It was stuck in the upward position. So I could move it down, I could move it left, I could move it right, but it was stuck in the upwards position, which is why each time I turned it on, the camera kept doing this. We found the problem. Finding the solution to the problem was the next issue. I didn't want to try to move it any further to try to get it back into place and actually break it. So we were there just talking about cameras, camera lenses and so forth, and I just randomly touched it and moved it and I heard a click. That was the best sound I have ever heard in my life. The gimbal, the directional button went back into place. It can now go up, down, left or right. I am actually scared of touching it these days because I don't want that to happen to it anymore. But it's all good now. As you can see, everything is perfectly fine. So I definitely cannot complain anymore. I have a working gimbal. I started this video when I just unboxed the Weebil S, and that was weeks ago. I'm at a point now where I got this additional grip here from Rig, so I can actually use two hands when I'm using the gimbal. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I am so happy that it's finally working. Despite the issues, I actually did get some test footage out of this gimbal. What I did was to actually put it in POV mode and it leveled it out just like this. So I was able to get some shots. You know, there are things that you can and can't do in POV mode. So I really just made the best of what I had at that particular time. So here's a few clips of me using the gimbal stuck in POV mode. Now, yes, that was a test footage, but it was just a little B-roll that I wanted to insert in this video. But here's the actual test footage of the gimbal stuck in POV mode.
The first test I did was in underslung mode, tracking my subject as best as possible. Next up, I had the gimbal at chest level, walking beside my subject and panning around him in order to see how stable it would be. Here's how it looks with my subject jogging and me jogging to keep up with him. Now this is what that same footage looks like when I stabilize it in Davinci Resolve and slow it down.
Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching my unboxing and my initial impressions of the Zhiyun Weebil S. I loved it before I bought it, I love it now, and once I get some more practice in and you know, I somewhat master the gimbal, I know that I'm gonna enjoy it even so much more, and I have a lot of things in mind that I want to do with this. And for upcoming wedding videos that I'll be doing, you know that I'm gonna have the gimbal. So once again, my name is Renoy from OC Imaging. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just like I always say, just remember to live, love,
and laugh. Peace out.
Turn that gimbal. Turn that gimbal. Move that gimbal. Move that gimbal. Walk with that gimbal.